What's good? It's Diggity Dom, back at it again with episode 5. So we about to talk about self-care, alright? Because that is vital. That is important. And y'all need to get hip.
Yes.
Alright, so let's hit it with this intro. And we about to get into this.
My name is Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom.
And that's all a part of self-care.
Exactly.
And that's all a part of finding what you love to do, and then also just learning how you can implement it in your life. So it's no longer a hobby, but it's actually part of your lifestyle, part of your routine.
Yes.
Like, Dom, you're a musician, you know you gotta practice every time.
Shoot, I sure do.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
The
y'all.
greatest of the great, they don't just wake up and become great. Now you know they were destined for greatness, but you gotta practice.
That's
I
it.
sure
That's
did.
it. And
Gotta put that work in.
And that's the thing. A lot of us were destined for greatness, and I just want to say,
for greatness.
absolutely,
Okay.
and I specifically speak for Black people. When I say that, it's written in our blood. It's written in the soil. We are destined for greatness. We all have ashe that we are naturally born with. If you don't know what ashe is your essence, our soul, like the way our rhythm, the way we move, how creative we are. We're creative because that was born out of oppression. We had to create ways to survive, create ways to show each other love, create ways to heal each other.
Against all odds.
Absolutely. Spirituals.
Come on.
That's why we was eating chitlins, because we didn't have nothing else to eat.
Hey.
Right, we didn't. Right,
Some food.
and yet it didn't kill us. Why? Because they knew how to prepare it, even though it was the shittiest part of the pig.
Or quote unquote poisonous or toxic.
Okay,
Right.
but let's talk about they knew how to work the earth and work the roots, work those herbs to purify those chitlins so that it can be called a quote unquote delicacy. And it is in certain African American traditions.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Most of them that way. If y'all eat the chitlins, you do that.
Yeah, I personally don't do the chitlins,
My family, they eat it.
but my
only
family
once a
eats
year.
chitlins. I sit around the chitlins. They smell.
Be like,
Cook it with potato. It won't smell as much. Just fucking.
funny.
But, you gotta know yourself and know your history.
Yes.
Really know
Yes.
where you came from, because sometimes a lot of us, and I'm guilty. I think
We're all guilty
we
of
all
it,
have
right.
been
The
guilty.
miseducation of
Yes,
the Negro.
yes,
White
the
public
dogma.
Come on.
Yeah, the dogma, the things that we grew up thinking, even though, but we'll get into that later, but the things we grew up thinking, and so we find ourselves side-eyeing other people, for, they seem like they practice this, they do this, you know what I mean? And they're really not doing anything wrong. They're probably doing kind of some of the same things that you're doing, and that's what we can get into if you want to get into that.
And like we said, it's all rooted in self-care. Why? Because self-care is all about healing. When you think about healing, it's not just the physical, manifestation of healing, but it's also an emotional aspect that has to take place. It's also a spiritual aspect as well as a mental. And so self-care has to do with the whole, well-being of the person, the mind, body, and soul. And like we said, it doesn't happen overnight. Everybody, experiences it differently. But the point is, are you willing to heal? Are you willing to do the shadow work? Are you willing to, reflect on those traumatic experiences and have the courage to pick yourself up and say, I can move on from this. I can, move forward despite all odds, despite a system that says I can't. I say I can. But
yes, I can.
Yeah. I mean, our history shows that we can.
right.
Period.
Come on
And
now.
don't let anybody tell you different. And I'm gonna keep on going back to knowing yourself, because if you know yourself, then you know your history and you know your people and you know what we had to do to even be here today.
Yes.
And I feel like sometimes it's even a little disrespectful to not lean into that and to not appreciate that and to not lean into your brothers and sisters, because we need each other. We're going to need each other if we want to stay on the face of this earth, you know. And so we need to look back to these traditions. We need to look back to these patterns. We need to look back to the way that we dance. Look at the way we dance and tell me that's not our war patterns.
Ooh.
Tell me that's not the way we stomp. The way we stomp
Shout
the
out to
ground
all
and
them
make the ground
crumpers.
shake.
Okay.
Tell me that's not the way we come on, just the way we move and the way we vibe and the way we telepathically understand
Connect.
each other and see each other. Like, come on, a lot of us are psychics out here. A lot of us are clairvoyant. A lot of us are clairsentient. A lot of us are clair. A lot of clairs. Go look them up. You might be one. You know, there are a lot of signs.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of ways that you can, you know, handle self-care and realize that it's not like, don't overwhelm yourself. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. You know, you don't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna go through different things that happen, and you're gonna learn from different experiences. You'll learn from, you know, different people that passed through your life and that came in, and, you know, different decisions that you made. And each time that you face a new challenge, you'll know another way to get through it. So, you know, just gotta keep your head up, and, you know, you got this, okay? Or like, one way you could do self-care, like, for me, I feel like if I'm handling, like, if I have a whole bunch of things to do, and I'm doing a lot of work, or I'm creating something, and I'm just getting really frustrated. Maybe I'm stuck on a problem or a math problem, or I'm just tired. Okay, get up and just walk. You know what I mean? Just, you know, if you can't walk outside, you know, sometimes I just get up and just walk around and take some deep breaths. And like, just really try to like clear my mind. Maybe, you know, it's important to like sometimes take, you know, a little 5-10 minute
Even
break,
if it, thank you. And self-care is not, it doesn't have to be strenuous.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, you know, a long bubble bath with the salts and all that stuff. Those are good.
It's amazing.
Amazing. However, self-care is also just taking 5 or 10 minutes to center yourself.
Right.
And to just, you know, slow down and to like do those deep breaths like Dom was saying, but also in doing those deep breaths, speaking those intentions of like, I'm bringing in peace right now.
Clarity.
I'm bringing in joy.
Yes.
Even though, you know, everything is, you know, a whirlwind around me, I'm centering myself and I'm choosing to let peace be my, you know, center. Peace be my portion.
Absolutely. And notice the way he said that. You know, you don't want to say, I want peace. I will have peace, because you're gonna always want peace and you're gonna always
Claim it.
Yeah. Say it as if you have it. You know, and then do it, because we know prayer without work is dead. So I mean, when you say like, I'm happy today, nothing will ruin my mood. Nothing can take me out of my high vibrations. You know, whatever it is that you want to say it in an affirmative, present progressive, if you want to get technical. You know, and that's
English majors.
That's how you manifest what you want.
Right.
You know, you say it like you believe it,
And then you
you
act
do
on
it.
Yeah. And acting on it can mean, literally, that's why we said self-care, you have to figure out what you like and what interests you, what makes you happy.
Write that shit down.
Okay? If there is, if you have a favorite scent that like you love to smell, whether it be lavender, lemon eucalyptus, rose, frankincense, myrrh, peppermint, whatever that scent is that gets you in that zone of finding your zen, finding your peace, finding your center. Yo, get that incense, get that essential oil, get that perfume, cologne, make sure it's natural, and let that center you. And then on top of that, figure out what you like to do that will bring in your happiness, whether it is going on a walk, Whether it's taking 5 or 10 minutes to listen to your favorite artist, their entire album from beginning to the end. Whether it's reading your book that you always wanted to read but you kept putting it off because you had to work your first job, your second job, and while going to school at the same time, so your long reading list gets pushed back on your priority list. So take at least a half an hour, not even 5-10 minutes to read a page of that book that you want to read. And it's all about finding what it is that makes you happy, what it is that brings in peace.
Exactly.
Setting that intention and then acting on it.
That's awesome.
Could be music, could be a book, it could be a bath.
Come on.
Throw some things that you like in your bath water, some herbs, like you said, lavender, some oils. Throw them in your bath water. One thing I love to do for just like I call it a quick spirit bath. A spirit bath is for your spirit, by the way. It just uplifts you. Spirit is mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
All encompassing.
Get them endorphins running.
Yes.
That dopamine is making you happy.
Exactly. And one thing I like to do for a quick, I like to get these scrub gloves. Like you get them from the dollar store, and that's what I meant earlier about buying things that make sense. I shop at the dollar store because I can get nice things for $1.
Come on now. Don't sleep on the dollar store.
Enough said. And until we get a black dollar
Yeah,
store.
can somebody please make a black dollar store? I will
Yeah.
support.
Yes.
I will support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really will. Even if I get shit, if y'all deliver, listen, I will support.
Hey.
But I also go where my money, my pocket says. And the dollar store at this time, even though it's owned by the Asians, we love them. But we want our black-owned dollar stores.
That's it.
And it's in our community. We should have them.
But yeah, so get some scrub gloves, put some salts, some herbs in them, sprinkle some oils on them, and then lather yourself with that. Like you'll be amazed at how good that feels.
It's about a moisturizer.
Exfoliating.
And it exfoliates, feels good, makes you smell smooth, smell good, smell like that favorite scent that brings in peace or joy.
Right.
Commit yourself to that one time a week. One time a week, pamper yourself. You know what I mean? Whatever way that is.
Yeah. See, I would get my feet done, but my feet are ticklish. So I feel like I kick them in the face.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like I know my dad goes and like that's cool.
Yeah, shout out to Manny Petties.
Right. Like all the
Feels
dudes
good.
who do that, like y'all are lit and like I would, but like like maybe I do I don't know. I feel like I just be cutting I need to cut my nails.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I don't even like to go. I'll clip them on my own.
Yeah, facts.
Shits grow like the water.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in the water, but I'll just clip them.
The castor oil, I need to moisturize my hair, but it be making my nails grow because like
Yes.
Yep.
It's good. Shout out to black castor oil, that Jamaican black castor oil.
oh yeah,
Taking care of yourself, period. Your nails and your hair will grow.
Yes.
And the food you put in your body.
Come on, let's be health conscious, y'all.
Yes.
Let's stop going to them fast food restaurants. It's not good for us.
Yep.
Trash.
And like actually, knowing what's actually good for you. Like, don't believe the hype. I'm stabbing myself with my own needle. All right. Don't believe the hype. Like look at what's actually good for you because it took a long time for
Google,
even
y'all.
us to get there. Google, but like make sure you use that eye to know, to cipher through the BS. Because they say a lot of things are good for us when they may not be good for us, and a lot of things is in in the amounts that you take them in. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. Dr. Sabi, rest. Before he transitioned and became a great one, he left so many recipes behind, and he spoke truth about what we really should be putting into our bodies, and we've been trying to take that into account. No one's perfect, but you gotta start somewhere.
Yep. Start with drinking water.
Yes,
water goes a long way.
I had cut out soda for a while, or like cut back a lot. I had lost my weight. I cut back on juice. I've just been drinking like a whole bunch of water. Yep. And water, I'm telling you, cleared up my face. Like water just be great. Give you some little ice. You know what I'm saying? You can put some fruits. Make a little smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Like
I just
And also like adding, fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
And making sure like when you cook, you actually are implementing fresh herbs.
Yes.
Like get that fresh rosemary, get that fresh basil, that fresh celery. You know, everything that is in that fresh section. I would even say go to your farmer's market, go to your local market where farmers actually get compensated, you know?
And that's just even, you know, I mean, we understand that takes that takes action. I mean, you have to be able to move, but like just to start off, like start looking at what's already in your kitchen. You know, like it's all about using what you have, and we know that we have to do that. So you know, like you got basil in your you know in your cabinet. I know a lot of us have basil. You have cloves in there. You know, just start cooking with things that are green. We know that, right? Start cooking with that. So that's just not talking about these leafy vegetables, but remember that these things we have in our cabinets are just chopped up and minced, you know?
Yes. Y'all need to check out my ultimate sandwich tutorial because I had some spinach up in there, some cheddar cheese because I could use that for lactose intolerance.
Okay.
And then I had some mushrooms and some eggs.
Yes.
And like that's all that good protein and stuff, and like it's very filling, you know. And you know, you just have to like really it's just one step at a time. Like even if you know just change up one little thing or have an extra side of vegetables, you know, a few times a week, like it's better than nothing, you know. And there's so many different ways to cook the vegetables. You can even make chips out of the vegetables. Like I should make it to we should make ooh, that's gonna be tasty.
Yeah. He's always like, I don't cook on, to be honest. I mean, like I like to mix things. You know, I like a little alchemy and things like that, but I don't. Yeah, he's the one who likes to like. He'll just go in there and go away. Spirit takes over.
Yep.
You know.
Matter of fact, just like shout out to all the black mamas who be in the kitchen, chefing it up, who be repping for Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, New Year's dinner, Easter dinner, like all that.
You all are magical.
Right.
You've been magical all along. And we got it from
Black girl magic.
Yes. Shout out to all the black women.
women,
Especially because they are the centerpieces of families. And we know that due to our tragic history, which is still, the sad history keeps repeating itself, just the black woman still to this day is the most oppressed woman on earth. And those were words from Malcolm X. And that was in the 60s, and here we are in 2020, and that still rings true today.
Yeah, we definitely need to be stepping up to protect our women. By all means necessary. By all means necessary. And you know, that starts with being there for them and how we treat them. And you know, we all have to just take one step at a time to get there. You know what I mean?
And it's all about, you know, it's all wrapped in self-healing and self-care, because when you love yourself, you know how to love other people
around you that you should be loving.
And even you know how to love people who, you know, may not agree with you, but still at the end of the day there's love. Why? Because there's respect. In love there is also respect. You may not understand somebody, you know's background or experience, but that doesn't negate your love for them. It shouldn't negate your love. You don't have to understand somebody to love them.
Because the same way that we all, like, you know, I need help at times. You know, there are times, you know, I'm just like, wow, I really need someone to be there for me. You know, I'm lucky to have someone there for me. And you know, the same way that you do, you know, the next person does. You know, we don't always make the right moves. You know, sometimes, you know, I know you catch yourself thinking back like, damn, I wish I dealt with that differently. Yeah, that person probably thinks you're an asshole. you know, and you should probably go deal with that. You know, be human. I cannot stand when people don't know how to open their mouth. And when I say that, it doesn't mean, you know, a lot of people talk about, oh, be 100, be 100. No. Sometimes you might need to take a minute. You know, I know I'm a person, especially when something's like really, really like, you piss me off to that point, I need to go think about it.
Right.
If I try to deal with it at that point, I might not deal with it the right way. And you gotta know that about yourself, you know.
And that takes knowing yourself. And that takes having to take that time to have introspection. Know how you are in those situations that make you heated. Know your triggers. And knowing your triggers, you will be able to create those boundaries so that you can know how to react in those situations that make you uncomfortable. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and what do human beings do? They either fight or flight a situation. So on a basis level, know that, are you a fighter or are you a flighter? Like, if you start there, then you will know, okay, what are your triggers?
Exactly.
And knowing your triggers, you'll be able to know what boundaries to create. And all this has to do with self-care. And you have to get to know yourself.
Exactly.
Yo, this shit is deep, yo. Listen, we could honestly talk for hours and hours and hours about this.
But I don't want to keep y'all all night. You know what I'm saying? It's been really lit chatting out here with T.U.P.A. I hope that you all learned something and that you can walk away feeling a little bit more empowered about yourself.
Stand in your truth.
Yes.
Be who you are by all means.
Be authentically you.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Love yourself, okay? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You are important. You mean something to somebody. And you mean something to me, okay? Alright? Listen, if you feel like you have nobody out there, best believe I know that you are amazing and you can do anything that you put your mind to, okay?
I should.
Yes.
Stay black, stay beautiful.
Yes.
And love the people around you.
Right. No matter where you're from, what your background is, you know what? Like, just respect everybody and love. Yes, y'all. Alright, we about to be out here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this, okay? We want to spread the love. We want to spread all these tips. We want everybody to be educated and to, you know, help people help themselves. And, you know, I want you to learn how to help others as well. Because, again, like, this is a community. You know what I mean? Alright, y'all.
Thank you.
Of course. Anytime. Alright, make sure to subscribe. And thanks for getting Diggy with Dom.
Woo woo.